So I guess the first thing I kind of want to talk about is why I laid out the level in the way I did. I wanted you to kind of feel enclosed because that's kind of the whole point of the game. Even the spiders themselves are bigger than the character. So I wanted you to just feel like you were kind of entrapped in this the landscape that you spawned into. I also wanted it to feel very windy and curvy, even though there are some straight tunnels, which is where you'll find the majority of the spiders at the beginning of the game. There are also some curves and stuff like that throughout the level. The main village, Rustmira, is the first kind of DLC, not DLC, NPC heavy area where you'll be able to like trade and do like market stuff where you can like upgrade your gun, your armor, all that stuff is basically going to be done in there. I want to eventually build out a whole skill tree where you find different materials off of different spiders and like a leg, an abdomen, an eye, whatever, and you put these in a material graph where, or not material graph, in like a inventory, like crafting style table, and you can create materials that will then be able to unlock new powers and stuff like that, kind of like becoming a spider. So one of them will give you like night vision. One of them will give you like the ability to like wall dash and run on walls and stuff like that. But that's like for way later on. Um, I wanted to. I had those initial trees from the block out, just to kind of see how it would look. I decided to remove a lot of the trees that were on top of the mountains because I don't think that would look too good once I start adding textures and stuff like that. I also added some grasses, some rocks, just to make it look a little more abandoned and like there was something bad that happened here, just make it look a little more beat up. So that's kind of what I did for this final midterm blockout stage. The other main thing I did is I added those sliding doors, so you're kind of like trapped. You feel, even though the doors open and close, you feel kind of trapped within the tunnel when you're fighting those spiders, and it kind of cuts off the light really nicely, and it gives you some kind of dynamic lighting, which is something I'm pretty proud of. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, I didn't add it in the blockout, but something I want to add is when you are exiting the Rust Mirror and trying to go into that second tunnel, there's going to be something that you have to do in Rust Mirror first, because how the plot I was kind of thinking for the story was that um, those four spheres on those poles on the side on the corners of the fence of Rust Mirror, the wall, those are going to be like Tesla coils, and you're going to have to figure out how to return on the electricity. Um, I'm not sure where there's going to be like materials that you have to find in the tunnels while you're fighting the spiders. I think that's probably what I'll do. But once you get that electricity back on, it will allow um, the sliding door from Rustmere to the research center to be opened up. And the research center is through that tunnel, and then that's where you have like that garage with the cars that I showed in the video, and the research center with the satellite dish and stuff like that, which is going to be heavily used for the plot of the story, at least in the beginning of the game. So yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't make the spiders animated or anything like that. I'm planning on doing that soon, but um, just for the block out, just so you can kind of see where I'm thinking the spiders will be and how they will interact and how many there's going to be. There probably will be more than what I put in the block out, especially in the second tunnel. But I just kind of wanted to give a quick, brief representation of how how it will look within the game once it's all completed.